guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do a little bit of a different video, and I thought this would be kind of a fun series. The only name I could come up with it for now is Help, Why is my trip so expensive? So I wanted to take some of my past clients' trips and see how we could save them money. Now, obviously I went through all of these things with my clients at the time they chose these trips. And to be clear, I am not saying what they did was wrong. Everybody prioritizes things differently, and what is of value to one person might not be of value to another. So this is primarily about the dollar and how much it costs and what you can do to save money. So again, I'm not saying these people did it wrong. I'm just saying this is how you could cut the price of that trip. So in this example, I have 2 adults and 2 children, ages 5 and 8, and they were traveling at the end of June, and they wanted to stay for 5 nights with 3-day park hopper tickets, no dining. So for starters, the end of June is a bit more of an expensive time to travel because kids are out of school. So that is a tip right there, is when kids are out of school, prices are gonna be more and the parks are gonna be more crowded in general. Like I said, no dining, and they're only visiting the parks for 3 days. So their trip at a value came to over $5,300. Why on earth would that be so expensive? That's a lot of money for 5 nights at a value resort with only 3 days in the parks. Well, for starters, they really wanted to stay at Art of Animation, and they wanted to stay in a Cars family suite. So the family suites at Art of Animation are more expensive than the regular rooms at the moderate resorts. So that's one thing right there. They really wanted to stay at a Cars family suite. Now, with 2 adults and 2 kids, they can fit in any standard room at any room in any of the Disney hotels. They do not need a family suite. However, if they want the extra space and they want the kitchenette, this gives them that. So again, prioritizing, maybe it was important to them, but if they don't need that and they're just like, hey, we're just sleeping in the room, that would have been a place to cut back. Now, if you're staying at Art of Animation and you're staying in a Little Mermaid standard room, you can swim in the Cars pool, you can swim in the Lion King, you can swim at any of the pools. But they wanted a Cars room specifically, and I know the mom really wanted her son to be able to swim in the Cars pool. So that was kind of her reasoning. Now, had they stayed in a Little Mermaid standard room at Art of Animation instead of the Cars family suite, and then just walked over to the Cars pool, that would have saved them $1,663. So the price went from $5339.40 to $3675.22. So that's a pretty big jump right there just for staying in that room. Again, I don't know if they wanted the extra space, if they wanted the extra room to get ready and whatnot, but that would have saved them money. Now, to save even more money, they could have stayed at Pop Sentry. Pop Sentry is also on the Skyliner, and I thought that was a pretty good alternative just for comparison for them, because Pop Sentry and Art of Animation are both on the Skyliner that brings you to Hollywood Studios and Epcot. So it's in the same area. You're not, Disney World is huge if you guys are familiar. So it's not like they're on the complete opposite side of the property. So they still have the Skyliner access. Now, obviously they don't have the Cars or Little Mermaid or any other stuff there at Pop Sentry. So it is a completely different vibe. But had they stayed in a standard room at Pop Sentry, it would have saved them $1,918.12. So it brought the price from Cars Suite to $5,339.40 to $3,421.28. So that's a pretty big jump. So that was my recommendation if the Skyliner portion of your stay is what's really important to you and you're just using your hotel to sleep. Now, additionally, I like nice things. I like to stay at nice hotels. If I can upgrade to a nicer hotel, I will definitely do that. And that is something to consider in this case. These people, many people who stay at value resorts in the family suites could also stay at a moderate. So the moderate resorts, the rooms hold 4 people. There are some at Riverside as well as at Caribbean Beach that hold 5 people if you have a child young enough. So what you could do is stay in a regular room at Caribbean Beach, which is still on the Skyliner, but again, it's a regular room. So it's gonna be smaller than the family suite at Art of Animation, but you could save quite a bit of money and you'd stay at a nicer hotel. The property would be nicer. They don't, again, have the themed pools like they have at Art of Animation, but they have several pools. They have a really cool feature pool that has a slide. It's like a pirate ship at Caribbean Beach. And like I said, they have several pools. They could have done that as well. So stay at a nicer hotel, but smaller space in the room. And that would have saved them $1,524.38. So it would have brought their total from $5,339.40 down to $3,815.00. So like I said, it's really just about prioritizing and what is a value to you. I really struggle when people ask me if something is worth it, because what's worth it to one person isn't going to be worth it to another. I always bring this up when somebody asks me if building the lightsaber at Hollywood Studios is worth it. I don't like Star Wars. For me, it would absolutely not be worth it. But I've heard from several people who are Star Wars nuts. They're like, oh, it was the greatest thing ever, totally worth it, we're doing it again. We pay $200 a person to run a half marathon at Disney World when we could run outside here for free, but it's worth it to us. So again, I'm not saying they did this wrong or shaming their decision in what they did, because they found value in this. I'm just giving you the numbers and helping you to see what value you could get from each room. So typically it's more space in a value resort family suite, or less space but a nicer hotel in a moderate resort. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you are interested in planning a trip, please check out my website. You can request a quote there. If you would rather fill out the quote form through our company page, I am a travel agent with Magical Journeys Travel. You can say that you want to work with Brittany, and you can say you heard about them on YouTube, and then my boss will make sure the quote form gets to me. So either way, I get the quotes. It doesn't make a difference, whatever you're most comfortable with. I just made my own quote form because a lot of my clients are first or second time Disney goers, and I kind of tailored the quote form to them, to people who don't really exactly know what they want yet. So it's a little bit easier for first time people. But if you're more comfortable going through the company website, that's totally fine too. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. I would so look forward to working with you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye guys.